TomoNews presents Scary Holes.
California Lake's unusual spillway expected to kick into action for the first time since 2006. The Lake Berryessa reservoir in Northern California is set to reach full capacity for the first time in 11 years. If that happens, water will begin flowing into the lake's glory hole spillway, like a giant bathtub drain. Crowds of tourists are expected to flock to the area to see the unusual sight. The glory hole spillway is located about 200 feet from the Monticello Dam. The distance from the glory hole to its exit point located in the Puta Creek is about 700 feet. The glory hole is a morning glory type spillway. Shaped like a funnel, it is 72 feet in diameter at its lip and narrows to about 28 feet at its exit. Water starts spilling into the glory hole when the lake fills up to a level of 1,602,000 acre-feet. The glory hole can release a maximum of 362,000 gallons of water per second. Water is expected to begin pouring into the glory hole this Saturday, as heavy rain is predicted in the coming days. The last time this happened was in 2006.
This giant vortex could sink a full-sized boat. US Army engineers discovered a vortex earlier this month that they say is causing water levels in one of the country's largest reservoirs to drop. This footage, captured by the Tulsa division of the US Army Corps of Engineers, shows the vortex swirling in a fashion similar to that of a tornado. The vortex was discovered in Lake Texoma, which sits on the border between Oklahoma and Texas. US Army engineers say the vortex measures 2.4 meters in diameter. When you fill a bathtub and then pull the plug, the drainage creates a vortex. Similarly, when Lake Texoma's floodgates were opened to let out water, this vortex appeared. US Army engineers say the vortex is large enough to suck in a full-sized boat. The engineers explained that this is a normal occurrence when water is released from floodgates. However, Business Insider reports that the area is off limits and that engineers have marked the area with safety buoys and caution signs to keep people away.
Mysterious 260-foot wide hole appears in northern Siberia. The discovery of an enormous crater on the Yamal Peninsula in northern Siberia has triggered an intense debate surrounding its formation. The oval-shaped crater sits nearly 3,000 kilometers east of Moscow. It measures 30 meters in diameter, is around 70 meters deep, and has a lake at its base, 80% of which scientists say appears to be made up of ice. Two popular theories have emerged explaining how the hole was formed. One theory posits that the hole was created by internal forces, the result of a global warming-related underground explosion caused by the mixture of gas, water and salt. The other theory hypothesizes the hole was created by a pingo, or a hill formed around a buried chunk of ice in regions of permafrost. In geological formations such as these, the ice pushes through the surface and gradually thaws as it is exposed to the sun, leaving behind a large hole. The crater is located some 30 kilometers away from Bovanenkovo gas field, which suggests it was not likely man-made. Scientists reportedly still need to conduct a number of additional tests in order to debunk some of the wilder theories surrounding the formation of the crater. Other famous massive sinkholes include the Bayou Corn sinkhole in Louisiana, the Corvette Swallower in Kentucky, the Gates of Hell in Turkmenistan, and the seemingly bottomless sinkhole that appeared in Guatemala City in 2010.
Phew! That was close. 21 lucky bus passengers in China got a real sinking feeling when a giant hole in the ground almost gobbled them up. The 10-foot wide and 10-foot deep sinkhole opened up on a bus lane in the southern city of Nanning last Friday, just moments after the vehicle passed over it. The narrow escape was captured on CCTV. As you can see from the video, the passengers get a bit of a bumpy ride just moments before the sinkhole appears. The driver of a second bus following behind then slams on the brakes to avoid the massive gaping hole in the road. Footage from aboard the first bus shows just how close its passengers came to being swallowed. Yep, we're gonna bet there were probably more than a few soiled undergarments on that bus. According to the cops, one of the city's subway lines runs under the road where the sinkhole was found. The bus lane was immediately closed for repairs so the authorities could investigate what happened. China is no stranger to sinkholes. There have been several reports of the giant craters appearing without warning at various locations around the country in recent years. Sinkholes commonly occur when rock below the land surface is naturally dissolved by circulating groundwater, causing the land surface to collapse suddenly. Giant unstable sinkholes in Texas are still growing. Satellite images show that 2 sinkholes near Wink, Texas are growing, and that more sinkholes are forming nearby. Sinkholes form naturally when underground water dissolves bedrock, creating voids over time. The voids grow upward toward the surface until the layers above them collapse. Sinkholes can also be created by oil and gas extraction. Drilling fractures underground rock and allows water to permeate and dissolve the interbedded salt, which creates voids underground. Scientists have discovered that 2 infamous sinkholes between the small towns of Wink and Kermit in West Texas, named Wink 1 and Wink 2, are expanding. Wink 1 is about 110 meters across, or roughly the size of a football field. Wink 2 is roughly 270 meters across. Wink 1 appears to be the more unstable of the 2. It has a deformation area measuring about 500 meters wide and is subsiding up to 4 centimeters a year. Wink 2 is sinking up to 3 centimeters a year. New sinkholes or one giant sinkhole may form west of Wink 2. In addition, ground along a road used by oil field vehicles directly north of Wink 2 is also subsiding around 3 centimeters a year. Wink 2 is about 3 kilometers from Wink, which has a population of 940 people. Wink 1 is about 6 kilometers from Kermit, which has a population of 6,000. The satellite images were collected by geophysicists at Southern Methodist University in Dallas. They reported their findings in the journal Remote Sensing. The scientists said the sinkholes are unstable and subsiding at an alarming rate. More sinkholes could appear in the future, and they could collapse into one giant sinkhole. The researchers warned that a collapse of the sinkholes, which are near 2 communities and an area heavily populated with oil and gas installations, could be catastrophic. Scientists find black hole 12 billion times larger than our sun. The discovery of a giant black hole, which is growing faster than usual, challenges our current theories of black hole expansion. When the core of a dying star loses nuclear fuel, gravity will overcome outward pressure. The core explodes, turning the star into a supernova. The black hole has such a powerful gravitational pull that nothing, including light, can escape. Yet scientists can detect the existence of black holes from their quasars, a glow of radiating gas and matter. The black hole also absorbs other stars in its vicinity. The newly discovered black hole is 12 billion times the size of our sun. But what's more astonishing is that it was formed only 875 million years after the Big Bang, a relatively short period for a black hole to grow to such massive size. One possibility is that 2 black holes collided when the universe was very young. This is not the biggest black hole ever found, but it is the biggest one detected in terms of luminosity, which is 40,000 times as bright as the entire Milky Way. There's a new type of black hole, and it's in the Milky Way. New evidence has been found backing the existence of a mid-sized black hole, which has long theorized to be the middle ground between single-star black holes and supermassive ones found in galaxy centers. Astronomers in Japan discovered a peculiar gas cloud near the center of the Milky Way that contained gas that moved at vastly different velocities. This, along with faint radio waves coming from the center of the cloud, suggests the presence of a black hole 100,000 times the mass of our sun. The radio signals detected from the cloud are similar to those produced by Sagittarius A, the supermassive black hole at the center of our galaxy. The Japanese team hypothesized that the mid-sized or intermediate mass black hole was formed from the core of a dwarf galaxy that had previously been absorbed into the Milky Way. Scientists have long believed that giant black holes grow in part from the merger of small ones. So the discovery is especially significant, since it's the clearest evidence yet of a black hole mass in between the 2 size extremes.
A monster sinkhole opened up at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky in the early hours of Wednesday morning, swallowing 8 rare sports cars. The hole, estimated to be around 30 foot deep and 40 foot wide, opened up inside the Sky Dome area of the museum. No injuries were reported. Of the 8 vehicles swallowed by the hungry Earth, 2, a 2009 ZR1 Blue Devil and a 1993 ZR1 Spider, were on loan from the Corvette Company, while the other 6 damaged vehicles were owned by the museum. They include a 1984 PPG pace car, a 1962 black Corvette, a 1992 white 1 millionth Corvette, and a 2009 white 1.5 millionth Corvette. The Sky Dome is now off limits to visitors while the museum figures out how the hell it's going to get 8 cars out of a whopping great 30-foot deep hole. The rest of the museum remains open to visitors.